Hello everybody and welcome back to the second part of the pilot. In the previous part I was sketching and inking this image of Jilly. So let's continue with the coloring process. I think this will be the most interesting for most viewers of this video, so I try to explain it as best as I can for this one. I'll probably repeat this many times in the future if this type of content is to your liking. So let's see, we have the ink lines in a vector layer, and below that I have created a base layer. And I'm going to use the filler buckets just to fill in the outlines, so the outside parts of the parts I don't want to have colored. With it's just a simple bucket with some tolerance on the gaps of the vector lines, so it doesn't fill, even if there's one little pixel open. It's just a visual aid that helps there. See. And the good thing about vector line inking is that the filler bucket will go all the way to the center of the line. So you will never have to deal with anti-aliasing and the transition colors you usually see in with filler buckets. And you don't see the harsh separation as well, because that's hidden by the line. So after doing that, I'm using a different type of bucket that just fills in the blank without any regards to the other layers. I use the magic wand, select all the red here, all the parts I don't want to have colored, and delete that. Now we have this pink layer that is the base for our character. As you can see, maybe I have a folder called suit. Maybe in a future video I will make this a bit bigger so you can actually read what's going on. I have the suit folder, and the lowest one I will use as the base for the the colors basically. Okay, let's fill it the standard colors. Orange for the body part, and then the yellow for the insignia, the rank system, with a little bit of white, it's like 10% for border lines, and black, like a very dark gray. I think it's, how much is it? How much percent does it say? So with 10% white. Oh no, we don't want that. Right, now we have the suit done. I'll sort it quickly and go to another folder for the non-suit parts really. Oh wait, the suit's not done. I forgot the legs. That's fine. It's not such an issue at this stage. Right, then let's go to the base, and we have the pink part, and go to the bucket tool again, turn off the line art. There we have it. And just fill this base, this pink base, with a different color. I don't know. For me it's useful. Some people have a different method. I think most are interested in the shading part. So I'll just skip right through this. I'll make this green. This is green. Turn the line back on and color this as well. Sorry about the background noise. We have a delivery truck rolling in. Right, I'll go back to this part. Color her skin, which is a kind of tinted Caucasian maybe color. I don't know. I just find it attractive. I like it. Blonde hair. Maybe Is it blonde or is it just, yeah, it's super blonde. And her eyes are teal. As you can see, I have left the pupils open. I have a different layer for that. Maybe I shouldn't. I will change it in the future. But it's how I work at the moment. Alright, now we have her head. Let's just first work on her head. Next up is let's do the shadows first. Shadows first, always convenient to do. Right. For the shadows, I use a shadow layer, which is, I believe it's on a linear burn. This is called Yakikomi Linear in Japanese. I think that's a linear burn layer. I set it as 50%, and you can basically use whatever you like for that. I myself use a kind of off-gray, bluish tone, H225S17V47. It's a standard color in the Clip Studio palette. I don't know. I just don't want to use pure gray. This has a bit more liveliness to it, as far as liveliness and shadow goes. I just feel more comfortable with it. So I'm using a brush called it's just called Shadow. Shadow brush. And I'm using it. The light is not coming from that direction. Okay, let's redo that again. Okay, light is coming from the right. Maybe it's a nice idea to add an extra layer under the shadow, under the base layer, on the background. There we go. Light from that direction. You can see the big image on the left side. Okay, go back to the shadow. Putting these big arrows in your own work also helps with remembering where the light comes from, how the shadow will fall. You have to think a bit in 3D to do light things. I mean, you can disregard it, but the result won't be as satisfying. Because it wouldn't make any sense in my mind. When things don't really make sense, it doesn't satisfy my brain much. Right. For erasing parts, especially with brushes like these, I don't use the eraser itself. I just set the brush to transparent. Yes, you can do that. And use that as a method to erase the lines or the patches of colors I didn't want. I've set an express key on my TabMate for that, so that can be done in less than half a second or whatever. It's efficient, and I like efficient. So, face has been shaded. Let's go. Oh no, wait. Wrong one. Let's go to the hair. For the hair, I have the same layer as the shadow layer. Not the same layers in the same settings. 50% burnt linear, and here I use I think it's also a standard brush in Clip Studio. So it's a water paint hairy brush. Literally says, like, I don't know how it's called in English, but it creates nice soft streaks for hair. Let's mirror the image. I'm right-handed, so these curves serve me better than the other way around. If you're left-handed, then you're probably having no problems with this angle. Let's flip it again. Right, basic hair done so far. Maybe delete some with a touch of transparency brushing. Yay, it's working so nicely always. I'm so happy I discovered this. Right, we've got this done, hair done. What's this layer? Why did I make this one? I don't know. Oh well. Okay, right, let's continue with face, do some detailing, do some slight blushing, just to give it a bit more liveliness with a big airbrush. Big, very soft airbrush. So let's do the settings. Yeah, just the pressure very low, everything is very low, 25% intensity. And go back to the shadow airbrush, which is much stronger, but I don't use the pen brushes so hard, so I'm really barely touching the screen. So right, there we have the little bit of red eye shade. I think that's it's kind of rare to see that, but kind of adds some fiery character to a kind of makeup style. Right, next up is the light effect. I'm just using a basic layer for this and putting it on 65% opacity and using the G Pen. Yes, I'm using the G Pen to simulate quite harsh light actually. Right, here we have the face, just adding a quick dash of light. So let's do the classic anime halo with a big brush stroke. I think it should be the other way around. There we go. Right. Then doing some, adding some kind of hair texture to this shading as well. It's very ruffle, but I kind of like that look. Don't put too much effort in it. I mean, you can put as much effort in it as you like, as you want. It's just as you can see, I don't have much patience with this. Alright, and when the face is done, I will stop this video again and create a new one so we don't have too long videos. And if you're watching this in the playlist, then well, you'll just be automatically directed. Yay. Okay, there we go. Add some harder shading on the face. There. Create a little bit of more depth. Yeah. Sometimes mix the soft shading with hard shading. Just created extra contrast at some point. Not there. And delete some for more soft contrast. Okay. Right, face is done. Almost. Let's add some a little bit more. Right, I think, well, basically the face, you can tweak it as much as you like. Maybe you have better ideas of how to work on it. It's all fine, it will be your work in the end, but seeing this, is this a tutorial? Maybe you can see it as a tutorial, it's just showing how I work. Anyway, save this one, and see you in the next video where I am going to do the suit. And don't forget to click buttons, whatever. See you in the next video. Bye bye.